Hello and welcome to the Ventura Rock Spot. I'm Jeff Donovan and I'll be your host. The Ventura Rock Spot is a program featuring original musicians from or traveling through Ventura, California. Be sure to check out VenturaRockSpot.com for all the past episodes and information on how to become a featured artist yourself. If you're wondering what's going on with the music scene in Ventura, please be sure to check out VenturaRocks.com for all the latest news. So in this episode, we have with us Ray Jaurique from Ray Jaurique and the Uptown Brothers. Thank you for being with us, Ray.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's great to see you. So, so let's jump right into it, Ray. You're known as Ventura's live wire blues band, and I know you also have the nickname of Ray J. But for those of our viewers who aren't familiar with you or your work, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started and where the journey's taking you so far?
Well, I started later than a lot of guys. I started around 19 or so, and I just really, I really liked what Jimi Hendrix was doing, and I didn't really have anybody around me who was musical or played, so I really just I came from a different place, a different approach to music, and I think that kind of helped me out as far as style and everything goes, because it's kind of pulling from all these different areas. My mom loved oldies and old doo-wop stuff. My dad loved country and some old rock and roll and stuff, and it just and it all came together. And I lived in a bad neighborhood, really crummy place, and it was difficult. But music actually got me out of it. Music moved me around, and it kind of plopped me down in Ventura. And I think I've lived in Ventura longer than anywhere else I've kind of settled. I've found a great music scene, and it's really cozy. I love the beach, so I just kind of found a place to kind of blossom and write. Well,
if you love the beach and music, then Ventura's the spot to be, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's funny because I'm in Morro Bay right now. I went on a road trip. I have doing art and stuff, so I have some art pieces I had to drop off here to a gallery, and every time I come back home, it's always comfortable, and I'm always happy to come back home, no matter where I go on the coast.
All right, nice. Yeah. All right, well, on that note, let's just jump right into the music. We'll take a look at one of your videos to familiarize all the viewers with your work, what you do. I'm going to start off with a song from your latest CD titled Find a New Fool. Let's play that now, and we'll get a little detail from you on it after we play the video. Here we go.
All right, cool. All right.
All right, so that was great. That was off your latest CD, and from what I understand, you've released two CDs so far. The first being in 2014 with the self-titled Ray Jaurique and the Uptown Brothers, and the second was in 2021 with Soul Remedy. So, tell us a little bit about the making of the CDs and what you were doing in the 7 years in between each one.
Yeah. Well, the first one was, I had all these original tunes, and I wanted to kind of put them to form somehow, get them out. And the second one came about. I had a bunch more written, and in that time, I also, between CDs, I also wrote, a few of those. Well, I'd say most of them. And we just played in between those CDs. We just played, and we played the songs on the new CD for a couple years to get used to how they worked out, how they grew, and they became something. So that's kind of that was like a developmental period, for those.
Okay.
And then the recording actually took a couple of years.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it did. We started, and
did you start recording it? Did you start recording it during the pandemic when everything was shut down?
I did. Actually, I started it a little before the pandemic.
I did notice on the new CD that you do have a lot of guest players on the.
I do, which is why I didn't title it Uptown Brothers, because it really wasn't Uptown Brothers project. It was more me putting together the songs, regardless of the group.
Right.
I think the only steady, consistent element was Kirk, the bass player, and me. We were, on every song, every track.
Right.
But we had Tony Cicero played on there.
Yeah, I know. Tony's played with my band a few times, and
he's great. He's great. Yeah, he played on a couple. Like I said, Mike Finnegan, a monster player, amazing singer. I look back now, it's like I wish I would have had him sing something too, but he was so kind, and he liked the music, which was great. I was immediately, he goes, hey man, I love your tunes, man. Just so you know, I love your tunes. And he's all, this one's sounds kind of popish, but I like that, man. I like that, Ray, and it was very encouraging. A guy who played with Hendrix and Joe Cocker and Bonnie Raitt and tons of other people, for him to give me his thumbs up, and that in itself was a huge experience. I sat in the studio while he was tracking, and JP, the engineer, and I at Castaway 7, we sat and just looked at each other like, wow, like in amazement, because just the tracks he was laying down with. I wanted him to save all the outtakes as well, because we were like, oh my god, it's amazing, that sounds great. And he was like, oh man, I can do better for you, I can do better. I had Paulie Serra do the horn arrangements, so it was Paulie, and I think on that one it was Lee Thornburg doing horn lines. Bill Steinway also played.
You've got a lot. You've got a lot of names that I recognize on there. Almost every track has a guest player on it. So
yeah, a lot of great people. It was so cool. Deb Ryder did some vocals on there for me. She was really sweet about helping out. David Grover at Majestic Mountain, he helped out. He got on some vocals with Deb. Helped fill in some background stuff. It was a fun experience. I really liked doing that. I think I learned more doing that, than anything. I especially about timing and getting, all your ducks in a row, and kind of try and make things move smoother. Like this time, it was kind of a magical disaster. It's like amazing that everything came together so well with so many really good people.
All right. Well, we've got another video for the viewers. This one's from your first CD. It's titled "What You Do to Me." So
yeah.
let's take a look at that, and we'll be right back after the video. Here we
Awesome.
go.
I used to lay awake late at night, tossing, turning in my bed, wondering if I would ever get it right. Walk along the road instead. The town was hard, but still I kept on pushing on. Gotta make it on through. And when I felt that I wasn't gonna make it, it's the day I met you. You set me off like a rocket, higher than a mountain. Baby, you got just what I need. Been walking on clouds since I met you. Never gonna let you go. Baby, don't you know what you do? Girl, you excite me, amaze and delight me in so many ways. I'll do what I can just to be your man. And the rest of my days, you set me off like a rocket, higher than a mountain. Baby, you got just what I need. Walking on clouds since I met you. Never gonna let you go. Baby, don't you know what you do to me? When my best ain't good enough, and the world's got me on my knees, yeah, I've fallen to a house and I'm begging for love, darling, please. Girl, you excite me, bathe and delight me in so many ways. I'll do what I can just to be your man for the rest of my days. You set me off like a rocket, higher than a mountaintop. Baby, you got just what I need. I'm walking on clouds since I met you. Never gonna let you go. Baby, don't you know what you do?
All right. Well, that was What You Do to Me. And that was off your first CD. That was really great. I truly enjoyed it. So
Cool.
on to a few other subjects. I wanted to talk also about the reason that you're up there right now. So you are an artist.
Yeah.
You've got a vast array of subject matter, including guitars, which I love. Is that something that you've delved into recently, or have you always been painting?
You know what? I've always been kind of artistic. You know, I've been not playing. I've been painting. Well, actually, it's more drawing. I always drew. I drew and I sketched, and I'd just books and books of doodles just to, that was kind of as far as a lot of the art went. And I started painting probably 8 years ago, I think 8 or 9 years ago. I started painting on canvas, like really painting. And yeah, I loved it. I found a couple techniques and, that I liked. I found out a while, and my father passed in 2005. And when he did, I found a box of his that he used to do sign painting. I mean, that wasn't his job. I mean, but when he was younger, that was his thing. He would sign paint, and he would pinstripe cars. So I knew about the sign painting, and I remember him telling me he used to pinstripe. I'm like, Yeah, sure you did, Dad. You know, I would say, yeah, I could take a line from one end of the car all the way to the other, you know. And I go, yeah, sure, Pop, that's cool, awesome. I'm sure that will come in handy, you know. And when he passed away, I opened the box and there's pinstriping brushes and stuff, and kind of like a little snapshot of history. And you know, I held on to it for a long time. And when I started, or when I moved here, I kind of, somebody brought up pinstriping. I can't remember who, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got pinstriping brushes. So I dove into it like obsessively, like just head first, and started pinstriping.
Nice.
And I kind of carried that technique into, you know, painting on canvas. So when I did my line work, I would get these old swirly Q brushes with really long bristles that are made for lettering, and I would use them in acrylic. I'd get the acrylic to the right consistency so I could pull these long lines that go on the outside. And yeah, it just made everything pop.
Well, that's great.
So that,
I mean, I really enjoyed browsing through the work that you've done, and thanks for putting it up on your site. It was very nice to see. But
yeah, thank you. I enjoyed doing
all
it.
right.
I really love it.
Let's get back to some more music. We've got one more video for our viewers. This one, as I understand it, is new and has not been released yet. It's a tune called Sassy Brown.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Let's take a look at that one right now. Here we
All
go.
right, cool.
Try to make a mind, you see. Yeah, you ask me if another can ever take your place. I just look you in the eye and laugh in your face. You better stay or correct when you're dealing with a sassy brown. Yeah, she hot and red pepper, she's a real high stepper, you know. Yes, this show is classic. Got me feeling like I'm out of control. Yeah, I'm shaking like a train about to jump the track. I got a one-way ticket. Brown. Thank you.
All right, so that was a tune called Sassy Brown, and am I correct? That one has not been released yet, right?
Yeah, it's in the can, but I haven't hasn't been mastered, or I was going to release it as a single, or I will release it as a single as soon as I get more of the next album together. You know,
I was just going to ask you, do you have another one in the works?
there's another one in the works. I mean, there's a lot of writing going on, and you know, it's become kind of a juggling act between music and art. More so now that I'm much busier, you know, showing in more galleries and everything, you know, and playing more, to find time to sit down and finish a bunch of the songs that I started, you know. But I'm hoping to get it done by.
You have two creative processes pulling at you for your time.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of times the art pays for the music, which is great.
Right.
So,
for our viewers that would like to find out more information about you, your music, where they could find you, where can they find you online?
well, let's see. You can go to my website, which is RayJaurique.com, and which is RayJaurique.com. I'm on Instagram as Ray Jaurique, and I usually post everything on there, so you can find artwork and shows. Facebook also, Ray Jaurique on Facebook. So yeah, just look up Ray Jaurique.
All right, great. I think that'll do it. And I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. But you have any final comments for the viewers? Words of advice for aspiring musicians? Any of the sort?
Words of advice: keep playing, don't stop.
Right.
Keep playing. I found so many people who encouraged me to keep going, and that really helped. I mean, it really got me out of you know, a bad neighborhood. It got me to where I was inspired to sing, which kind of put me on my feet. You know, you can go pretty far as a guitar player, but I think once you start singing, you start owning it a little more. It's a little bit more yours, especially if you write. That and owning a PA system will keep you going. So
let's get that guy in the band. He's got a PA.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's going to conclude this episode of Ventura Rock Spot. Thank you so much for being with us, Ray. It was a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for tuning in. And we're going to leave you, as the credits roll, with one last video. This is a song titled Get Gone. And we'll see you all next time.
Thank you all.
Pack up all the things, say your time is right. You made up your mind, what you're doing is right. You got to do what you know, reap what you sow. Baby, have no doubts about that. Yeah, and once you get going, you're on the run. Baby, don't you don't come running back. I don't come running back. You gave me all the reasons why you're going away. Your heart changed like the seasons. Guess I knew you'd never stay.